Hello everyone, Vincent Piratore here. Special day today. Obviously, I just passed 300 videos on my channel, and very excited. You know, you got to take moments like this to kind of pause and look at the past and kind of think about all that we've been through and appreciate those things. Because normally you're always competing, you're always thinking about what's next, and that's how I am. So I never really stop to think and be like, you know, we've done really well. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about this video that came out maybe a week ago or so. It's been viral, going everywhere. You probably have seen it already, where these Russian feminist activists are going around and putting this bleach water in people's crotches. Okay, the idea is that the bleach actually stains the pants in a way that it's embarrassing, right in the crotch. So it looks, you went agarushka on yourself. That's a new word, agarushka. Anyway, these girls, this is in Russia. Okay, so here, we'll roll the clip. Obviously, it's showing you guys are seeing what's going on. She has a strategy to it. Okay, she has a strategy to it. She waits till the stop comes on the bus, and then she pours it so she can dart right out of the door. Most of the guys are just so shocked. They don't really do anything. They're just shocked. They're stunned. Okay, and they don't do anything. Now, a lot of people I've seen in comments are like, well, man, like almost 50%, everybody's like, oh, I would slap the shit out of her. I would do this. I would push her. That's assault. And I'm like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Would you really slap the shit out of somebody for doing that? Honestly, I gotta be honest with you. Even if it happened, even if it was a dude, okay, that did that to me, I don't think my first reaction would be to beat somebody's ass or to hit somebody. I'd probably stand up. I might push the guy. I might yell at the guy. I would confront the guy, but I would need a little bit more input before throwing hands than just you spilling a thing in my pants. I'd be like, what the hell are you doing, man? I would stand up, you know, puff my chest. But the first reaction wouldn't just be abagarusha. So I think it's unreasonable. And with women, obviously, I would never do that to a woman. You know, I'm not saying that I wouldn't defend myself, God forbid, but there's just something ingrained genetically that a woman can get away with a lot. And, you know, doing something like that, especially she's young, she's very petite, it's just not, it wouldn't be my go-to thing. And I think if we did it here in the U.S. or in Europe, the same reaction would happen. People wouldn't just be throwing magashi, you know? Magashi is Italian for a big old punch. Anyway, you know, you see a few guys stand up and kind of chase her, but most of them just stunned. And I had a very thorough argument with a gentleman on Instagram, and I use the term loosely. But anyway, he was the first one. He said, you know what? This is if it was a black girl, it wouldn't have gone down like that. This is racist. She's getting away with it because she's white. And I thought about that. And I was like, you know, I'm always open because there is racism, whatever. You know, I'll take a actual look. I've seen discrimination firsthand. It's not good, okay? But I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that it's that she's a young woman, and she's petite, and that's why she gets away with it. Because I'm thinking in my head, can you really honestly say that if that girl was like Rihanna, that somebody would have slapped her just because she was African-American? Like, really? Now, if she looked like Missy Elliott, people would be like, hey, but I just don't really see the fact that if that was J-Lo or, you know, an Asian girl or something like that, there would have been a different reaction. I think that as long as it was a very young, petite woman, people wouldn't resort to violence. You know, I think you would have, if you were a guy, some of the guys would have got a little bit more confrontational. You know, me too. I might stand up, be like, oi, you know, get in your face. I wouldn't immediately just hit somebody because they spilled something on me, okay? That just wouldn't be my go-to, unless it's stung. Anyway, a lot of people also say this is assault, but this is also Russia. A lot of people also accuse this of being staged. But if you look on Snopes, if you look on those like kind of websites, it is actually a legitimate video. It's a legitimate. If you see the full uncut version of this, they do it to hundreds of people, and it was a protest against, you know, manspreading. I didn't know that women had this savage feeling, this much resentment, but a lot of women really resent this manspreading. They hate it. They hate it. A lot of women were defending this video. I just don't think it's the right way to go around things. I think that we all know that if it was a guy that did this to women, people would flip their wigs. They would. It wouldn't be put up with. So what's the point of this video? It's like, I don't support this. I don't think a lot of people should support it. I think we should be saying, hey, look, if the roles were reversed, that's how I identify sexism. People think sometimes I'm too far right, or that I'm some sort of misogynist. I'm not. I'm really not. But I ask myself if the tables were turned, would the same thing be acceptable? And if it's not, then I question it. I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? Nobody should be pouring shit on you. Okay, tell me, okay, women are oppressed, all this stuff. When's the last time guys do this kind of organized assaults on women and shit like that. When? What I'm saying is it wouldn't be put up with in society. It wouldn't be put up with in society. But, you know, here, this is acceptable. Young women can get away with doing stuff like this. And it's just ridiculous. I think it hurts the cause. Like, I can understand the manspreading bothers you, but to a certain extent, it's like, why is every little issue with feminists just like a life and death situation? Oh, manspreading, this is something that we gotta, address, and we gotta do something. It's like, come on. Like, with all the problems in the world, this is like the big issue. I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to piss people off, man, but I feel like people get overly emotional about stuff at the feminists and make things into something that they're not. Okay? Like, live a day in the life of a dude, man. Like, we got to handle, like, it's just, you know, like, manspreading, really, you know how many times? I don't take public transportation, but when I used to, like, women always put their bags and their shit everywhere on stuff. Like, you know, the thing is that really bothers me about this is this, okay? You want to know, most of those guys would have literally stood up and let that girl sit in their seat if there wasn't space, because that's how guys are. I would do that. Okay, if there was a young woman and I was sitting down and she had to stand, I would stand up. I would offer my seat, especially if she asked. I would offer my seat. So this is that misogyny? Is that the patriarchy? And to the point where most guys would do that. And so what do? You go pour bleach on their pants because they're sitting with their legs a little wide? Like, that's ridiculous. It's just like, how can you feel oppressed when we literally give up our seats for you? No woman is going to have to stand so a guy can spread his legs, okay? Guys give up the seat all the time. Yeah, sure, there's a few that probably don't, but the vast majority would, okay? And you're literally attacking us. We're the people that should defend you and stuff. Do you remember that time in England they had this lady? She got all pissed because some mentally ill person struck her and nobody intervened to defend her. And like, so now we still have to be the defenders because I feel like you're attacking the defenders. Yeah, we defend you. We stand up for you, okay? Feminism would have never got anywhere if it wasn't for men passing legislation and supporting these things. And now you're pouring bleach on us. Next time you start getting roughed up or something happens, don't look to me because you poured shit in my lap, you know? And let's be honest, I would still step in. I would still step in. If I see somebody beating the crap out of a woman, obviously I'm going to step in. If I see it with a guy too, you know, I'm not going to see somebody be savagely beaten, you know, I probably would stand up, even if it would end up harming me. It's just an impulse. You know, like I'd probably jump in front of a bus to push somebody out. It's just like split decisions. But we need to acknowledge that. Why does nobody acknowledge the self-sacrifice that men have? This heroism. We're raised as children to have this sense of heroism and self-sacrifice that women do not have. Women do not have. They look out for themselves and for their children and for their family or whatever, but like men sacrifice. That's why 70+% of divorces are initiated by women, okay? Because men sacrifice. It's ingrained in our DNA or how we're raised. We go through pain. So that's why some of us get upset when we see this stuff, because our pain not only is not being acknowledged, but every tiny little thing is like a huge deal to feminists. And like, you have no idea? We go through lives depressed. We go through lives in pain because we self-sacrifice because of this sense of heroism. And that most of us have. I'm not saying everybody. And then you look on the other side and like, hey, you know, these manspreading. That's the life we live. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I just wanted to rant about that. What do you guys think about this stuff? Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you always for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me through over 300 uploads on my primary channel. And hopefully we will have 300 more. Thank you guys.